Hey everyone, my name is Grace Blackburn, and the cemetery that I went and analyzed and researched was Evergreen Cemetery in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. So this cemetery is a 90-acre cemetery that is in the downtown area of Murfreesboro, Tennessee, which is about 36 miles south of Nashville. So there are many different pockets in the cemetery. It's been there for a long time. It's been there since 1872. So it replaces the Old City Cemetery, which is also near downtown Murfreesboro as well. So the cemetery is a final burial place for many notable people that also were in Tennessee. Centuries old maple, oak, and magnolia trees are also throughout the property. And in the discussion board, I also have put some of the photos of some of the grave places that I saw as well. So we'll get into that. But just it predates more than 140 years old. Very interesting different grave markers. A few that I noticed were they were all made out of concrete, obviously, or stone. But some of them were logs that were made out of concrete or stone to look like trees or to look like logs. And I had never seen that before. And they were all people who had passed away in the late 1800s. Early 1900s, like maybe 1905. So that was very interesting. A few others where I was in more of the old part. So there's the old part where like the Confederate soldiers were, some World War I and World War II vets. There was a lot of people that had buried children from the late 1800s. So, and I was looking up symbolisms of different grave markers. And if you saw like a weeping angel or a weeping woman with flowers on their grave, then that was more of a child who had been cut short of their life. And sometimes even murder victims get that as well. Another symbolism for that specifically is a pillar on top of the marker that has been cut off instead of having the full pillar. So that was really interesting as well. But there is a Confederate circle in there. So there's mass gravesite for that, which was established in 1890. So there was also a lot of Murfree people in there. So for Murfreesboro, we are named for General Murfree in the Confederate Army for the Civil War. So Murfreesboro is also for that as well. But there's a lot of notable people that were buried in there. Charles Ready was a U.S. representative. James D. Richardson is also a U.S. representative. Ken Shipp was a college and NFL coach. Another one that was a little interesting, Marvin Leroy Maple was a kidnapper of his grandchildren. A lot of U.S. representatives. John P. Buchanan was the governor of Tennessee 1891 to... he was born in 1847 and died in 1930. So governor of Tennessee, many authors, many Confederate generals, different stuff like that. So it was just a really cool, huge cemetery, and I hadn't really stopped and walked around cemeteries really until this assignment, and so it was really interesting to see, just different symbolisms of what different grave markers mean, what they look like, and how we can look at those today. So, thank you.